about a time you failed. If your stomach just dropped, you're in the right place. Hey everyone, welcome back to Interview Like a Pro. I'm Ferguson, and last time we nailed Tell Me About Yourself. This week, we're tackling those behavioral questions that make even the most seasoned professionals sweat. You know the ones. Tell me about a time when. After 30 plus years of interviewing and yes, being interviewed, I've seen brilliant people crash and burn on these questions, not because they lack experience, but because they turn into robots or ramblers. Today, that changes. Here's what usually happens. Someone asks about conflict and suddenly you're telling a 10-minute saga about that coworker from years ago with no point. Or you go so vague, it's painful. For an example, oh, I handle conflict well, very professionally. Or worse, you just sound like a robot, unprepared, no emotion, no personality equals no job offer. Enter the STAR method, but not the boring version you've seen everywhere. This is STAR with soul. S is for situation, this the scene, 1 to 2 sentences max. T, the task, your role, super brief. A for action, what you did, this is your moment, and the result. Think of it as telling a mini story where you're the hero, not writing a police report. Let's say they ask, tell me about handling conflict on a team. Here's the STAR method in action. Situation. Last year, 2 of my team leads were butting heads over budget allocation. It was getting heated in meetings. Task. As the project officer, I needed to resolve this before it affected the whole team. So I did something different. Instead of a formal meeting, I took both of them for coffee, one for a walk, separately first, then together. I listened, found the real issue wasn't budget, but feeling unheard. And we created a process where both had input before decisions were made, the result. Not only did we solve the immediate problem, but those two became the strongest collaborators. They even joke about it now. See, same STAR structure, but it sounds like an actual conversation. Here's another tough one. Tell me about a time you failed. I once rushed a major policy rollout because I was so focused on the deadline. As the project lead, I was responsible for getting buy-in from 10 regional offices. I sent out the new procedures without proper consultation. Big mistake. When the pushback came, I owned it immediately. I apologized, pulled everything back, and spent the next month visiting each office, listening to concerns, suggestions, and rebuilding the policy with their input. The final version was absolutely better, and I learned that speed without buy-in equals failure. Now, I always build in stakeholder time no matter the deadline pressure. That's how you turn a failure into a strength story. So here are a few tips. Use your actual voice. If you say y'all in real life, say it in interviews. Show emotion. I was frustrated or I was proud. It makes you human. Include dialogue. I told him or she said, bring stories alive. Keep it recent. Last 2 to 3 years unless they specifically ask for more. Match their energy. If it's a formal company, dial it back. If it's a startup, let your personality shine. But Faye, what if I don't have a perfect example? Listen, they're not looking for perfection. They want to see how you think, adapt, and learn. Your community volunteer story counts. Your retail job counts. That time you organized the school fundraiser counts. It all counts. What matters is showing your problem solving in action. Right now, pick one. Tell me about a time you led without authority. Tell me about dealing with a difficult customer or stakeholder. Tell me about a time you had to learn something quickly. Tell me how you handle competing priorities. Write your STAR. Say it out loud. Time it, 2 to 3 minutes max. If it sounds like you're reading a manual, add more personality. If it's all over the place, tighten it up a bit. Create a STAR bank or repository, 5 to 7 go-to stories that can answer multiple questions. Like one leadership story might work for conflict, decision-making, and managing up. Work smarter, not harder. This is exactly the kind of thing I help my clients build in our coaching sessions. A whole toolkit of stories ready to go. Drop a behavioral question you're dreading in the comments, and I'll show you how to tackle it in a future video. Next week, we're covering the top 5 interview mistakes that smart people make, including the time I walked into an interview completely unprepared and thought my experience would carry me. It didn't. Winging it is not a strategy, y'all. Remember, these questions aren't trying to trick you. They're trying to know you, get to know you. And you've got stories worth telling. So walk in confident and walk out hired. See you next Wednesday.